Why do we say the N-word to mean the N-word when we know that the N-word means the N-word? So the N-word can't mean the N-word if the N-word is the N-word. But yet the N-word does mean the N-word. I mean, we'll say Michael Richards said the N-word, but that little truth in you knows he didn't say the N-word, he said the N-word. So why do I have to say he said the N-word? Saying he said the N-word when he said the N-word doesn't sound like he said the N-word, because he said the N-word. You're saying he said the N-word, but it's not the N-word. You know it's the N-word. And that's the point. You know that the N-word is the N-word, so why don't you say the N-word? Because you know that the N-word means the N-word. So if the N-word means the N-word, then the N-word is the N-word. And why doesn't it have the same meaning as the N-word? Because you already know that it means the N-word. And if it doesn't mean the N-word, if the N-word saying the N-word doesn't mean the N-word, that you can say the N-word because you can't say the N-word because the N-word doesn't mean the N-word, but it means the N-word, then the N-word doesn't have a meaning. And then if the N-word doesn't have a meaning, then why can't you say the N-word? And why do you have to say the N-word instead of the N-word when the N-word doesn't have meaning? You know what I mean? I mean, why? If it means the N-word, then it means the N-word, and you can't say the N-word, so you can't say the N-word, so just say the N-word. And in fact, you know what? It's starting to get to the point where you can't even say the N-word. You shouldn't say the N-word if you can't say the N-word, because the N-word means the N-word. So you just have to say that, you know what I mean? But if you can't say that when it means that, so just say that. In fact, you probably can't even, because it means that word. You can't say it, anything.